Hi, it's me, Miss Jazz. In today's art project, we're going to be focusing our project on the artist Keith Haring. We're going to try to recreate some of his styles and his work and his famously known dancing people. Um, Here's how mine turned out. So you can see the different styles. I used paint and a Sharpie marker, but you can also always use crayons or color pencils or whatever materials you may have at home. And here is another one. He is personally one of my favorite artists. I really enjoy his artwork, and we're going to get into him. So let's start now. So let's get into the art. This is your chance to pause the video to collect your supplies for the project. Don't forget you need a white blank piece of paper. Any paper will do, that's what you have at home. A pencil with an eraser, some colorful markers. If not colorful markers, you can use crayons, colored pencils, whatever has bright colors. And don't forget a black Sharpie or a black marker. We need thick lines here. So before we get into the art, let's learn a little bit about who Keith Haring was. Hi, this is Miss Jazz, and today for art, we're going to be studying the works of the artist Keith Haring, and we're going to look at some of his styles and see if we can recreate them in one of our own artworks today. Keith Haring was a prominent artist during the 1980s. He was born in 1958 and was said to be heavily influenced by pop culture, another pop artist, Andy Warhol, around his cartoons, just like the Peanuts Gang and Walt Disney. Keith Haring is well known for having said art is for everybody. His belief was that art should be accessible to all kinds of walks of life, either you're rich or you're poor or no matter what. He felt art was important for you to see. When Haring moved to New York in the late 70s, he became heavily influenced by the street art culture, which was a lot of graffiti artists were going on, and he decided to try his own hand at it and started drawing all over subway terminals with chalk, and he became famous for it. Even after years, he became known and selling works. He still wanted everybody to see his art in the subways or on the streets. Something that's pretty cool is it's really rare to ever see an artist live in action. A lot of artists we know have passed or they've been a long time ago. But I actually found a clip of Haring in the subway talking about art and why it's important to him and why he does it.
The young man from Kutztown, Pennsylvania, draws a picture, a cartoon-like drawing which he finishes in a minute or two and then moves on. He may do as many as 30 such drawings in a day, all different, but all the same in certain ways. He puts them down here so that millions can see them, and millions do.
It was made for lots of people, and you don't have to know anything about art to appreciate it or to look at it. There aren't any hidden secrets or things that you're supposed to understand.
One thing to admire about Keith Haring is that that's a really true statement to live by. You don't really have to be educated on art to understand it or to do it. It's an expression. Art is an act of expression. So as we look at his drawings, you can see that he used a lot of bold lines. You see his characters seem to appear to have movement. The dancing people are probably one of the famous ones people is known for. He's used a lot of different kind of characters as well, but as you can see, he used to put little lines around that are called rhythmic lines to show movement. He had simple figures that attracted the eye, such as a radiant baby, dancing people, dogs, flying saucers. He used TV. He used a lot of pop culture references in his drawing. These characters and symbols were repeated throughout his artwork, creating their own kind of visual language. And so this kind of created a pictograph system for him. You can really point out in a lot of his drawings that he drew. A lot of them had different kind of meanings and symbolism. Dolphins could be peace and love. Obviously, that could be hearts, often reflected love. And as you can see, this three-eyed monster would represent greed or joy, depending on how you drew it. As you can see, a lot of his artwork was bright and bold colors and attracted the eye. He also wanted to be an artist that was known for believing in a lot of social and political causes. He would often do murals or free artwork for things he believed in. He was really important about kids getting to know about art, and he would do a lot of work with schools and different children's hospitals, just making things and having kids involved and helping him paint art because he said art was for everybody and everybody needed to have art. Using that statement, at the height of his fame, he opened up the Pop Shop in New York, which allowed a lot of his work to be available to the general public. He had stickers and buttons and shirts, and as you can see, the store itself was a work of art. He painted the whole store. It was just an experience to be a part of. So I hope you enjoyed this little mini history bio of Keith Haring, and maybe it provided you the artwork, provided inspiration for you to draw your own inspired artwork of Keith Haring. So as we go into it, we're going to start our directions on how to actually draw these dancing people. So get your materials ready and got it. Wait, let's check to make sure we have all supplies we need to get this painting started. Let's see, do we have our white blank piece of paper? Yep, check. Other people can do if you don't have that. A pencil, preferably with an eraser. We're going to need that eraser later on. You're going to see when we do the lesson. You're going to really need that eraser. Some bright, colorful markers, crayons, anything like that will also do. And don't forget your black Sharpie or black marker for those lines. So let's get to drawing. The way to draw a Keith Haring figure is very easy. It's 3 simple steps. You're going to draw first a stick figure in any kind of dancing movement that you possibly like to draw. Then you're going to outline that stick figure. And then after that, you're going to erase the inside of the stick figure to have an outline of a character that would look like a Keith Haring character. Now here's showing you an example of what I did. First, I started drawing a stick figure in the side of any kind of dance movement it is. You can practice, take turns and look at yourself, how you dance, or a sibling or a parent, and copy the way the legs move or the arms move. And remember, Keith Haring's characters were dancing all crazy and wild, so really there is no wrong way to draw a stick figure, right? Remember, art is for everybody, so don't worry because it doesn't have to be perfect as long as you try. So here I am outlining the stick figure. And it's okay if you mess up or you don't get it that correctly right. Remember, it's fine. And plus, it's pencil, so if you want to erase and you feel you need to erase, you can always do that. But I always feel it's better to just do art the way you want to do it. There's no perfection in art. It's in the eye of the beholder. So here I was outlining it. And then I'm going to get my eraser and erase the inside of the inside. Now don't worry if it shows up because usually the marker will cover that. So if your eraser isn't that good, it doesn't really matter. As long as you erase most of the lines, you should be okay. So erase all those lines. And don't forget to erase the line right by the neck and the head because it's going to look like a head standing on a body. It's going to look not the way it's supposed to look. After that, you can get a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, a black marker or a black dark crayon or pencil will also work. So you outline it. So as you can see, sometimes me, Miss Jazz, I don't like the way I did it, so I fix it with marker and I go outside or I go inside. If you feel comfortable doing that, you can do that and you can just erase whatever extra lines are showing up later if you go over or go under. It's not really that big a deal. And don't forget to draw the rhythmic lines that show the movement, which is what Keith Haring used. Mine are a little wonky, but hey, again, there's no you don't have to be perfect in art as long as you're trying. We're trying to show how we like Keith Haring. Now I'm going to show you how to draw the barking dog. First start with drawing an M, and then you're going to extend it out a line, and you're going to draw what looks like a sideways V or like a less than or equal than or greater than sign. I always forget which way is which, but whichever looks like it's facing like a crocodile face, you're going to extend that line out, and now you have the dog's head. You're going to make the back by making a line and making a tiny upside down V. Go down, make a line, come up, make some legs, go down, make some more legs, go across, make a belly, make some more legs, and 2 more legs, and then connect to the head. And now you have the barking dog. Don't forget to draw his little barking line so we know that he's barking. And just like every other one, you're going to get a marker or a pencil or crayon or whatever you have capable, and you're going to outline the drawing just like we did. And if you feel like you went outside the line or you want to fix it, you can always do that. But remember, it's not about perfection, it's about expressing yourself. And I felt all art is good, at least if you try. And there we go. So I'm going to draw another character, another dancing character for the Keith Haring. Just remember, it takes practice. Every time you practice more, you get better at it. So I would say the more you draw them, the more you get. I like Keith Haring a lot. I don't know if you guys thought of Keith Haring, but I love his artwork because it always creates joy in me, makes me feel happy. I love how the people are dancing, having fun, and all the characters are just very, I don't know, just very make me feel happy. So whenever I look at Keith Haring, it's very happy to be. I wonder how it makes you feel. How does his art make you feel? I remember that when I went to a trip to New York, I really, really wanted to see one of his murals, but sadly, They were working on the park where his mural was at, so I didn't get to see it. But I did get to walk around the areas where he lived and saw, so I kind of felt that whole New York energy. I wish it would have been really would have been fun to be in around 1983 to see him on the subway, right? Or pointing out a Keith Haring one. Imagine how that would have been, or being available during the pop shop and being able to buy the stuff he had. I thought that would have been very fun. So again, just continue to draw your characters, and you're going to erase the lines. Don't forget, remember, one thing I always forget is to erase the line where the head meets the neck, because it's going to look very odd. You make sure you want to look like a streamlined outline. You don't want any lines in between or any pencil marks in there. And it's okay if some of the pencil marks show, because I'm sure we don't have super erasers like we have at school when you're home right now. But the markers should cover them up as long as you use a darker color. And don't forget the rhythm lines to make it look like he's moving. I always like those different lines. And don't forget you can incorporate any other kind of characters you've seen, like we learned about the Radiant Baby or pyramids, or a lot of things he drew, as well as the TV. I like the TV. He always had a TV in one of his ones I liked. He had, and inside the TV, he had the number 83, I guess represent the year that he drew it. I'm going to try to draw 83, but a little secret to show you guys how I'm drawing this on the computer. I am drawing it upside down. So Miss Jazz made a little mistake, and instead of 83, I ended up making some backwards 3 on the 8. So you can watch for that mistake. But again, like I said, mistakes can always be fixed, or they can always be used in art. Sometimes art have been made by mistakes or look like mistakes. So again, remember, use your marker or your pencil or whatever you have to outline it. And you can see right here where I'm going to try to fix my mistake, because you can always fix your mistakes and no one will be the wiser. Only me and you have a secret that I drew a backwards 3. So I'm going to draw the first 8. Boom. And then I look at it and I realize I drew a 3 backwards. And here I go. And I'm like, you know what? This can be another 8. It's 88. It's going to be TV with 88 on it. And now you can use your crayons and super fast Superman powers of me coloring in this in. So remember, using bright colors. He used a lot of bright primary colors like blues and reds and greens, pinks. I sadly don't have any pink markers, but in the past I've used paint, and I've made pink paint in different kinds of like neon green colors and neon yellow. Those are nice colors that he also used in a lot of his paintings, sort of like bright colors that pop. So we don't need any browns in here to be used, or black. Only black would be used for the outlining. So try to pick colors you really like, and if you have crayons and they have multiple variety of colors, that will also work as well. Just to make sure that you're really coloring in to not see any white space. Now, I can notice now as I watch this, I did leave some white space, but again, we can always go back and fix our mistakes. So, how did you like drawing that today? I'm sure it was very interesting. And it's cool. So now I suddenly get hooked. I get hooked drawing. Sometimes I just find myself doodling Keith Haring. And I just like drawing different kind of dancing movements. Or if I see characters moving around, I like the little barking dog. I think he's cute. So there we have it. We're finishing up our Keith Haring thing. How did yours turn out? So there we have it. That was our Keith Haring project. Did you guys have fun learning about the artist and the styles that he used? I wonder what your drawings ended up looking like. What kind of characters did you use? And how does the drawing make you feel? So hopefully one day you'll be able to share it out there and remind everybody that art is truly for everybody.